Hello, welcome back. In the previous episode, we managed to add the delete functionality into our modules. Okay, we managed to add a list according to the assignment you are given. You are supposed to go ahead and add to delete to the product. We had added onto the categories, coupons. I think coupons also was part of the assignment. So all these are working. Okay. On the products, we can search here for the product. Can go on the home page and look for those products which have no images. For instance, let's say like here we have this hen. Okay, this hen has no image. I want to delete it, so I can come to products. Okay, and I can search for hen. I can search for hen, and this one has the what? Under poultry there is hens. The other one was called what? There is this one hen and this Guinea falls. Let me see. And I'm seeing hens, they are bringing only one. Okay, just look for the Guinea fall. Okay, there is this Guinea falls. We can delete this one, so just come here and delete product. Okay, and you can see product deleted successfully, so that one is gone. If you come to this side and you refresh, this Guinea falls must disappear. Okay, so we can now start like cleaning up our UI. So now when you go back here, you see that the Guinea falls is nowhere to be seen. Okay, yeah, so you see there is nowhere, we don't have that, is gone. Okay, so you can just go ahead and delete also these random stuff we are putting, like under grains we have this Dusimas. Let me just find that one, like Dusi. Okay, it is this one. You can see how the search is very helpful, so you can just go ahead and delete also that one, and it will be also gone this side. Okay, it will be gone this side. Okay, so you can see under this we have now only one product. Okay, so that's great. Okay, so we can, the only problem that actually that is there is that is you're going to find the problem onto the markets. Okay, not the farmers. The markets are working. You can easily add the delete. Now the only thing we have to work on are the farmers. Okay, if you just go to farmers. Okay, if you look at my farmers have changed, they have no profile, and here there are many. Okay, first of all, let's start with this. If you look at this, if I just go to farmers and you go to page, you see that here we are fetching actually const farmers is await get data farmers. Okay, so here we are actually just fetching farmers. Okay, we are fetching farmers. This is very cool. Now if you just go and check this endpoint of farmers, okay, I want you to take a look. If you go to your API farmers, route. Now, more especially the gate function. Okay, the gate function. Now on to the gate function. Now for you are not having this, I guess here you are having const profiles is equal to await db.farmerprofile.find many. Okay, that is the one you're having. Please you modify it to say farmers is await db.user, because we are actually returning all users with a role of farmer. Okay, so we want to find all users whose role is actually farmer. So just modify. I have this order by, we are passing the descending, passing this where role is farmer, and include farmer profile so that you can access the farmer profile. That's why if you go to this API endpoint, now you just get API farmers. You see you now have a lot of actually farmers. Okay, you have actually a lot of farmers. Yeah, so you have all these here. Okay, this is the array containing all the farmers. Okay, these are the ones. Now that means the delete. Let me show you. So this is the first thing you have to change. You have to modify here on the gate. Okay, farmers gate, you have to put order by, where, and include. Okay, then here we return farmers, of course. Okay, that's it. Now the second thing, when you just go to this dynamic ID route, now the first thing is getting a single farmer. Getting a single farmer, you can actually just farmer is db.user. Okay, db.user where ID, because now we don't need to specify, I think, the role at that point. Let's just go and get one farmer like this and just say farmers at this ID, and this is Baruku. So you can see we have this as Baruku because the user IDs are unique. You get we don't need to specify the role. We would put here comma and we put role farmer, but it's not necessary because the ID is actually unique. There is no any a person who can be a farmer and at the same time be a normal user. It is not possible. So this only this query is only necessary to perform this query here. So we find unique where ID, and then we include the profile because we would want at some point to access all these other data on the profile. Okay, good. So now on the delete, okay, the same thing on the delete, we are actually deleting a user where ID. There is nothing else. Okay, of course we first get this existing user. If the user is not existing, we return an error. Otherwise we delete this user where ID. There is also no need of passing in the role because the ID is unique enough into the whole database, so it is not necessary to pass in the role here. So just simply where ID and return the deleted user like that. So that means if you go to your columns, okay, first of all, if you now check the data for this, let me just go back. If you check the data for the farmers, if you just come here on the API, you see that we are not accessing directly the profile image. That's why I first actually commented out in the columns. So if you see in my columns, I have the name. So this is the name here. The email. So you can see we have the name. Now we have also this here. Okay, accessor profile image header blah blah. We have this email. Now this profile image I've taken it off because we are not accessing directly this profile image. Last time we were accessing the farmer profiles. That's why you could see you have this profile image, but right now we're having the users list where roles is a farmer, so this one is not there. That's why I've removed it. But I have the email and I have the role. That's why if you go back to this, you see we have the email and we have the role. Okay, cool. Then down here, everything remains the same. Onto the action. On the action, we first get the farmer, and then we pass in the title farmer, and the endpoint is farmers.farmer ID. So everything remains exactly the same. So if you do that, now you'll be able to be in position to actually delete a farmer. If I just come here and you say this John test, just delete, just wait and see. You see farmer deleted successfully, so that one is gone. Okay, that's great. Okay, so that's great, and of course the filter is working. Great. Okay, the filter is working great. Though I noticed this button here, the filter button is not working properly. We shall work on that. But right now, what I want us to work on is actually the edit functionality. Okay, I want so that we know that the CRUD in the backend is done. That's the most important. If we know we have the create, edit, and delete working, we would have done a big role into our place, because that means we can actually now modify anything we have onto the UI. Okay, for instance, there is something at the end of the day, I want to place a logic so that these which don't have any product, they should not show up. We could even just put a minimum of the products for it to show up, but maybe we can actually just like put we could just even put 4. If they don't have a length of 4, then they don't show up, so that the ones that show up actually have 4 items in it in a category. Okay, yeah, we might just like do it like that, so that the ones you don't have, they don't appear here, but they can appear maybe in products themselves. But yeah, we shall do it like that, so that we hide some of these ones which are not empty, which are empty. Okay, I just want to see how, I think we can also just work on that. That is a simple logic, I guess. It shouldn't be very complicated to do that. Let's first go to the UI for a second. Just minimize this and also minimize API and components. Okay, and let's go to this page. Okay, so if you check onto the page, what are we having? We actually get all categories. Okay, and then here we have map the categories. Then we have this category list that we pass in the category. Okay, now we could just actually filter the categories. This one gives us a list of categories. Now if we go to categories, just in a second, just go to categories. Let's go to the API and just go to categories, and let's go to the route. And now we can just actually just like we have actually included the products. That means we have access to this products array. Okay, and in a second, let me just go also on this API categories. Just a second. Okay, so we have the API categories. Just like that, you can see we have all these, and then we have products array. So we could check the length of this product array. Okay, close everything here. This looks so much, and let's just simply go to front end and then the page. So what you can just see, this one we could just say call it categories data. Okay, we could just call this one categories data, and let's filter this to get categories const Okay, just say const categories. Okay, categories is equal to await. So we just get the categories data dot filter. Okay, dot filter, and now here we have access to a single category. Okay, so want to filter out return. So want to return categories, category dot products. Okay, categories dot products, that is an array, dot length, okay, is greater than 4. Okay, it should have greater than 4 items. We could just go ahead and console.log this. Okay, you could just go ahead and get console.log categories. I'm not sure if we have them, but we just come here and just go to another page. This one should give us the categories here. We could just go ahead and also refresh on the home page. Okay, and we see if some of these ones are going to disappear, because now it should check for the length of the items. Okay, 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 just go and just a second. So we have this ones there, 4, portrait 4. Yep, so we can see we have only 2 that actually meet the requirements. Okay, so greater or equal, I think you have to say greater or equal, because the ones which have 4, they should also qualify. I think just say greater than 3. Just say greater than 3, so that the one which has 4 actually qualifies. And we don't need this console one more time. This console is not necessary now. Okay, so right now I think there will be more. So you can see right now, okay, we still have 2. Let me just refresh, so that the ones which have 4, they can qualify. These ones are the ones which have more than 4. Okay, so the ones which have 4, they will qualify. So we have food, we have poultry, and now we have fresh. You can see we have fresh fruits. They have only, I think, 4 items. Then we have vegetables. Yep. So yeah, so you can see now we have cleanup. We have all the ones we have here, they have actually at least 4 items, or they are all full. So you can also just control like that, doing a simple filter like here. Okay, you can just even do more filters and blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Let's go back to these endpoints. While we want to do this, I will just go back to categories. Okay, and then we start our journey of implementing the edit functionality. Okay, we want to put the edit functionality into these categories. You can see here we are now remaining with actually this edit button here. Okay, so the first thing is want to make sure that we can access a link here. Okay, so onto this edit, it has to be a link first of all. Maybe we should also find the pen icon, and maybe we make it also this color. Okay, let me just first bring this one down, and you could just like close all these go back to the back office dashboard, and we have catalog categories. Okay, so you can see we have here the new and update, and then the columns. Let's start with from the columns, because onto the columns is when we have this action. Okay, the good thing is that this same endpoint will actually work, because this endpoint is exactly the one where we are going to put the edit functionality. So let's just go to this column. So into this column we have this delete. So we have also now to actually put this edit, the edit link. We have to have the edit link. Okay, so I'm just going to say the edit button. We could call it edit button or edit link, whatever. They just call it edit button also. So while we create the delete button, I'm just going to go ahead and create the edit link or edit button. So go to we have components and actions, and then I'm just going to put another action, which is going to be edit. Can I say edit btn dot jsx? Okay, just like that. rfc. Okay, rfc, just like this. And now this actually takes in, if you just go to delete, it takes in the same things just here. It takes in the endpoint and the title. Okay, it will take in the endpoint and the title, just like this. Okay, and another thing is for this one we need an ID, because actually the edit form, I don't think here we actually even need the endpoint. Yeah, the endpoint will be actually needed, but we need the ID instead, because think about it, this edit button is just going to be simply a link actually. Okay, if you think about it, it will just be a link, just like this, from next link. Okay, and href. Okay, href, let me put a hashtag right now, and here we can just have the pen icon, actually the pencil icon. Okay, and here you can just say a span which says edit title. So here you just say edit title or edit category, whatever the title will be, and let's give this a class name. Okay, so flex item center. Okay, and this one you could just give also a class name. You could give it margin right of 2, and you can give it width of 4 and height of 4, and let's give this one text, line maybe 600. Okay, and let's just go and bring this edit button to this column. It is already in the column. Let's just go to the column instead, and then we just add here where there is edit. We simply actually put this edit btn. Okay, and then you can pass in the same things, but we might just change what we pass here because the endpoint is going to change. We might not pass in the endpoint because this is what we are getting here, raw title and the endpoint. We can just like really define a lot of things from there, and then we pass them here. Okay, but basically right now we might have changed this and to be something else right now. Just wait and see. We can refresh. Okay, and just go and check. Okay, so you see we have now this edit category link. Okay, and you can see it is a link. So where do we want us to get the form? Okay, and this form, if you just think about it, is that we have laid out our files, that when you go to categories or any of these folders, you have the new, and in the new, this is where we have the create functionality. Okay, and then when you go to update, this is, it has a unique ID, update at a unique ID, and then this is where we have update category. So specifically, we have to go to categories update ID. Okay, so this endpoint could come like a, but if we have this title here, okay, if we have this one, we can actually create the endpoint by ourselves. So basically what we want is that on this edit button, we want something like here we want something like categories. So we are passing here, it has to be localhost dashboard blah blah categories. Okay, categories. So of course you have to have the base const. Here the base URL is going to be equal to, so you can just add the base URL, and if you want to see it, just simply add categories update. Okay, 1, just like that. That is the update endpoint, full of it. Okay, so all of them, I'm just going to copy this. If you go on that, you will have to see the so you can see update category. So on that, if you just come here and you say want to get the base URL from this one, you can see you will have this localhost 3000 stock dashboard, then we have these categories. Okay, so we might also be having this, the base URL is not enough. We can just say this is process dot env, then dot. Okay, and then here we have to find this next public URL, this next public URL, just like that. This one gives us localhost 3000. It is important we have it in that. Okay, so then here we're just going to have, here we want this full URL, just like this. Sorry, let me see what we have here first of all. Okay, so simply put this like that. There is no need of this. So we have HTTP localhost. This is the base URL. So I'm just going to turn this into this, and then I add this. Okay, so that I can inject in, I'm just putting it into the backticks so that I can inject in the variables. So just remove that. So this first one is the base URL, and why we want to pick it from the environmental variables is after you have hosted this onto online, you will not come back to all these files to change. You only change in one place in the environmental variables, and you are sure that this is going to propagate to all your files. Okay, we don't need this line here. So this is going to be the base URL. So just say $base URL. Okay, just like that. So we have this base URL is putting this localhost 3000, and now we continue. We put the dashboard. Now this is supposed to be the endpoint. Okay, so now as you can see here, we have this title. Okay, now we could use that title, but we could just also put also the endpoint. Now in this case, the endpoint has to be the name. Okay, the endpoint has to be the name. We're going to look for a way of getting this name here, this endpoint here in this case, and this is edit button. We could just say, maybe we call it edit endpoint to avoid the confusion. Edit endpoint, just like that. Edit endpoint, and now let's bring this instead of these categories here. Okay, instead of that, we can just do this, edit endpoint. Now I don't know if we just like create the whole entire endpoint from there. It is very possible. Instead of actually just again coming here, we pass the ID. They just have this. Okay, we have the base dashboard, and then we have this edit endpoint. So let's see how we're going to make this edit endpoint. If you go back to the columns, actually action here, so we should, in this edit, we should pass in the edit endpoint, and then this one is the title. Are we still having the title? Yeah, we have the title and the edit endpoint. So go back to the action column, we pass in the title and the edit endpoint. So how are we going to create the edit endpoint? So the edit endpoint should look like something like this. Okay, edit endpoint should look something like, so const edit endpoint should look like something like if you remember the whole entire endpoint we had here, it should be something like categories, because we are just having part of this here, dashboards, stroke. So the stroke is this, those three things. The edit endpoint should look something like this. Categories, update 1. So we need two things. We need the ID. Okay, we need the ID. This is one thing, which we can get from, okay, we could just say const ID is going to be is equal to raw dot original dot ID. Yep, I think this is the ID. Okay, so this is the ID, just like this. Okay, and so you just put the ID here. Now update, now this one. So here we can get this one from the title. The title we pass, if you look at all the title, the problem is that these categories, maybe we can get one more. we could just pass in one more, maybe endpoint title. We could just pass in one more thing into this action column, or we could work with this one. Now this one is really tricky. We can't work with the title. We have to really genuinely pass in the endpoint title. Okay, so that one we can just also pass in the, I think, the endpoint title, or else we could actually pass in the whole entire endpoint, edit endpoint. Okay, let me just go and see. So if you just go to action column, where do we have action column? Here. Yep, so you see we have here this category. So we could just also, we have this endpoint. This is the delete endpoint. We would have actually put delete endpoint. So just going to put here the edit endpoint, edit endpoint is equal to, so just do this, the same thing, and the edit endpoint we want actually is just something like this. So come to the action, actually to the columns, and then pass in something like this. Okay, something like this. Categories, update, and then here we already have this category.id, this one here, category.id here. So we have now categories, update, and then category.id, and this is the edit endpoint. Make sure that the one we need from this side, so remove all these ones now, really we don't need them. And what we're just going to pass in is going to be this, pass in this with the fourth parameter, which is edit endpoint. Just copy this and put it here, edit endpoint, and now this edit endpoint, move it to the columns, which is this edit endpoint, just like this. Edit endpoint, categories, update, then ID. Now let's see if this works actually. So go back, let's go back to the categories. You could just simply just go to, okay, it is just here on the categories, and you just go here and you say edit. Okay, so you can see we are actually directing very well on these categories, update, and we have this ID very nicely. Okay, so the edit endpoint is really now working actually very nicely. If you go to these, they are actually changing the IDs. Great. Now that one is actually done nicely. Okay, so we'll also have to update all the other ones to this. Okay, now of course the action column, the good thing that when we are change the action column, wherever the action column is, it is updated at once. That is the good thing, because right now all of them, they will have this so long as they have this edit endpoint on it. In the columns, you will have to add this edit endpoint. Okay, so that is great. One thing that we need to work on is the update. How are we going to work on to the update functionality? Okay, so if you just go back to the categories here, what we want is, we would want actually this new category form to use this very new category form, this one, when you create onto this. okay, I would want to use this very form. Okay, I would want to use this very form to create the to use. So this form here, I want to have a way of bringing it into the update. Okay, I would want to bring it into update, and at the same time you need to this one to remain this to remain the if you go to the new page. Okay, if you go to new page, you see the whole thing is actually a client component. Okay, this whole thing is a client component. So what I'm just going to do, or what I have to edit that I will admit, is that we have to change somehow the architecture of this. Okay, we have to somehow change the architecture of this, because if we don't, then we'll have to do the heavy lifting. Okay, for instance, the edit this whole edit form are doing it from scratch. We don't want to do the whole edit form from scratch. We want actually to use this very form. But then if we are to use this form, then we have to put it in a usable format. Okay, we have to put this component into a usable format. So you can see there is this new category. Okay, so this component would remain as new category. If you go to new page, it should be new category, but then new category should put in, like, for instance, new category form. Okay, so I'm just going to come here to, and I'll just create here inside the components. Okay, we have actions and all these other ones. Now I just want to put another one. If you just go to back office, we have a lot of things here. Okay, I'm just going to go here, and I might just put in the back office a new folder. I'm just going to write forms, not all the forms. I just like here back office and put forms for better organization. And I'm just going to put here, for instance, a new file. I'm just going to say new category form, new category form dot .jsx. So you have to do some refactoring, and now we could just go to this page, this new category, and just copy everything. Okay, just for purposes, just copy everything. Okay, and go back to this new form and paste everything here. Okay, now we have to remove some things. First of all, this one has to be new category form, the component. So these things are onto the form, they all actually remain. Okay, all these things actually remain. Let me remove these ones. Okay, all these on submit remain. Now on the return, we would want to remain with this only the form. Now this header we want also to be dynamic. Okay, so if I go back to the page, okay, first of all, this one is going to remain new category. I'm just going to remove everything. Just remove everything, including use client. Okay, and then inside here also remove everything, everything including this function. The only thing I just want to remain with in the new category is the return, and then here where there is the form, okay, I just want to put the new category form, new category form. Okay, I just want something like this. The form has to be injected here, and this one becomes a client, a server component. And if I just go in the form, I just want to remove this, and we make sure that we remain only with this form. So the return here should only return the form, just like this. Okay, now if I save this, okay, if right now I save this, we'll have one problem though. I think we'll have one problem. Let me go back to this page. Now this form header is actually taking on in the title. Just import this. Just form header. It only takes in the title, which is a new category. So this, okay, this here is should give us the same exact thing. Let me just go here and see. We should have remain with exact thing. Okay, let me just wait and see. Okay, so we are having use router only works in use client. Just go this side and make sure that this side we still have use client, and this use client is in the form header. So let's go to the form header in a second. Page form header, this one. Okay, so we're using router here to on click. Okay. So instead of doing this, maybe we have to pass in this in the form header. Now we need to pass in the title and the endpoint so that we can just actually click on redirect instead of using the router, because routers, you can see this one has to be a actually I think we can just put here use client, only use client. This one shouldn't have any problems, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be a server component. You can have a client component and then it is coming into a server component, and this one remains server component. Let's just wait and see. Yep, so we still have the same exact form with the same exact functionality. If I click here, for instance, create, you see we have the errors, so we still have the same functionality and everything. Now the advantage is, by the way, we might just have to change this functionality of back, because this one is just using back. Now if I just click back, the good things are writing to this one. So now changing this architecture, you might just think is something small, but this is actually a big thing. Changing to this format, whereby the new category actually takes in the form header and the new category form. Okay, now we could actually do this exact thing. Okay, first of all, we can just again call these two things here. If for instance I come to copy this and go to the update, I can go to the update page and call the exact same things. These ones, the form header and the new category form. Import the new category form and also import the form header. Okay, and then here just going to say update category, update category, just like this. Now on this new category form, let's just go and see what we have now. if I go and say edit, if I just go and edit this, could first refresh maybe. Okay, so you see now we are on to this update, but we have this title change to update category, and then we have this form. So the only thing we just need right now is to pass in the data. Okay, is to pass in the data, and that's the only thing we just need on the update category. Okay, we are passing in the form header, and at the same time we have the category form. Okay, we could just call this one category form, by the way, but just leave it like that. The only thing we just need to pass in into this one is actually data, and the data we can actually get it very easily by knowing that we have here the params, and in the params we can actually get the ID, just like that. Okay, now we could just get data. Okay, we could just say const category. Okay, we know const category, so you can just get a category is equal to await get data. Okay, and then here we can just simply pass in this. We can pass in the endpoint, which is categories ID, so stock something like this, the ID, and of course make this one async function, just like that. So you can see we have this category. Okay, and we could just go ahead and console.log this so that we actually have a look at it if we are getting back the category. Just go to the console. I'm just going to move this up, and let's see if actually we have the category. Just move down. Yep, so you can see we have the category. Actually, somewhere I'm seeing we have the category compiled banners, blah blah. I think this is the category. What? These are something else. Let's just go to this and let's refresh. Okay, we should be able to have a category on the console. Yep, category ID. Is this the category? Yeah, so this, I think this is the category is products. You get, so you can see we are on the food supplements and blah blah. So basically we have the whole category. Okay, we have the whole category, so we can pass this category data into the form. Okay, so this we can just come here and we have, maybe we can just call it form, or we could just call it update data or something, whichever you want. You could just say update update data. This is the data that is coming from this category, you get. So you could just say update data is equal to, and then here we pass in the category. Okay, and this one comes as an object, if I'm not mistaken. It should be an object. If you move up here, it should be an object. Yep, so you can see it is an object. Okay, so just minimize this. So we pass in this object to the form. Okay, we are passing into this form. So to this form we need to get this update data, and just go to this form. Here we are getting this update data, and by default we can just make it an empty object, just like this. Okay, because if we don't pass it in, then it should pass in an empty object, because when we are creating a new category, the update data is empty, so it should give just like this. Okay, and also we are going to look at some other technique. We might pass also the ID. Okay, we might pass also the ID. Okay, and then now if we do that, now the default values here, okay, we might just say default values, and you can see here we have this object. We could just come inside here and we spread the update data. Okay, we might just come here and we spread this update data we have here, and doing that alone, okay, and then also we might change this image URL. Okay, this image URL here might need to change, but only doing that can change a lot. Okay, I'm just going to come here and refresh. Okay, I'm just going to come here and refresh and see if actually we have something in our form, and basically we have an error instead. That's the beauty of programming. Okay, so now which one is this? Okay, so you can see we actually have the data. We have the category title in passed very well. We have this. The only thing we don't have actually is the category image. That's why we need to get it from the update data. So how are we going to get it? If you look at the category data, we still, I think, have the entire category data. You see that it is actually set onto this image URL. Okay, so we could just say, come here and we say we could just come here and you say initial image URL. So you could just say const initial image URL, initial image URL is equal to update data, okay, dot image URL. So that is if it is there. So if the update data has the image URL, so if this is there, but by default we can just say this is empty, and then this one we set it to be the initial image URL, just like this. Okay, and let's just go ahead and again refresh. Before even that, you can see the image actually changes now. Okay, this is great. Okay, this is great. We are doing good. We have this now updating for all categories. If I just go back to categories, let's go to another one. Let's go basically to maybe the regimes. Go and edit regimes. Okay, so you can see regimes title, the description, and eventually the image and the active. Now this is great. Okay, and this is possible to happen because already used form has this thing of default values, and you can pass in the old data and it will automatically propagate to this form. Okay, you don't need to hassle, and that's the main big thing with actually with the nice thing with the use form, this React hook form, because it already handles that. If you have default values, you can pass them here. Okay, you can pass them in here. Okay, we can have this image. And now let's just try to one new thing. Let's go back to the categories and let's go to new. Now if we add new, you see actually this is very empty. We have the new and it has no data at all. Okay, because now onto the new, as we said, this one is going to be empty. Okay, so here they are not passing anything, there is no any value, the only thing is active, and even this initial image URL is going to be empty, because we are saying if update data is there and it has this key which doesn't have, so this one is false, it will just go and take on this one as the default value. Okay, cool. So now the problem remains on this, on submit. Okay, the good thing we're already using make post request. Okay, we're having this on this post request. Now we have to make sure that we have this we have to make the put request. Okay, now we have to be very careful, okay, on how we are going to handle our data at this point. Okay, so we have to come here. Let's go back to this. Let's go back to poetry. Just edit category here and it takes us to the poetry here. Okay, so now what we want is one. First of all, this data is going to change. For instance, if we change the title, the slug has to change. We have to use the same on submit, and the slug we always get from the title. We generate the slug always just like that. Okay, and then this, and then that, and then now the what differentiates that this is a post request from, because in the post request we are sending a post, and in the update is we are sending the update. So what makes the difference to know that we are either in the edit or not? Okay, so the only thing we're just going to use, if we have to get the ID. Okay, we have to get this, the category ID, and the category ID, if it doesn't exist, that means it's a new item. If the category ID exists, then it means it is okay. So we could just come here and we check, and we could just also get const. We could just say get the category ID. Okay, we could just come here and we say get the category ID. Category ID is equal to update data. Okay, update data question mark dot ID, because if you check onto this, you realize that on top here, just move up. What is this? These are the products. And just go up here. So you can see it has this poetry, and then it has slug, then it has this ID. So we are just looking for this ID. So if this update category ID is going to be update ID, and by default also we're just going to set this one as empty. Okay, we're just going to set this one as what? As empty if it doesn't exist. Okay, so what it is going to mean is we can just go ahead and see the category ID. So we could just say here if, so onto this, if category ID. If the category ID is there, then we can make so if the category ID is there, make put request here, make put request or update. Make put request. This is the update request. We update, else we just make a post request. Make post request, which is actually create. So we create, okay, we create, and then so just do something like this. So you're only making the post request in the else part, okay, making the, and right now if I just go ahead and you try to submit, and maybe here we are consoling.log post request. If I just go ahead and just try to submit here and console.log, okay, post request, so you could just say here put or update request, update request, and then we could just also put the data here, just put comma data, so that you actually look at this. So let's just go to the console F12, okay, and by the way also go ahead and you see that we have to add the ID. So if this is just like this inside here, I'm just going to go ahead in the data I add the ID, okay, because we have to have this the category ID inside here. So here we're just going to have this I'm just going to add, and this one we could just call it ID instead, just call it const ID, okay, just standard like that, and just going to come here and say if ID, okay, if ID, I'm just going to come here and say let me add in the data.id is equal to ID, as simple as that. Okay, so just go ahead and try to actually refresh this one more time. I'm just going to update this one more time, and just going to scroll down. Okay, and just scroll this up just like that, and then this create, or we have also to change it, and we're also going to change it using the ID just in a second. But right now if I click on this, you can see here it says update request, okay, you can just say here update request, and then it passes all this data, including actually we are looking for the ID. Where is the ID? Just move this, update request. I'm seeing the ID, yeah, ID is here, so you can see the ID is here. Okay, we have the ID, we have the image URL is active, everything, markets, products. So we have everything. We are updating here, everything is there. Okay, we have everything that we are updating, everything is actually there. Okay, great. Now we have to change this either to update, because it can't be create. So you're just going to check also to change that title. We can just come here where we have this title, button title, and we can just check if. Okay, I'm just going to write an if statement here. Just write here these brackets, and you can just say if ID is true. Okay, if the ID is true, then we are going to have this update. Okay, update category, and then else we're just going to have create category. Just going to use this. Okay, and then even this this title, you can also update it. Let's first see if this one actually updates. Yep, so you can see here it's saying update category because the ID actually is there. You can do the same thing here. Okay, you could just do change this whole thing, or you could actually just like change only this point here. Just like make this one also, then make it just like this, and then you just put this whole condition. You could just like put this whole condition here. That if the update ID I don't know if we do this, if update ID, let me first remove this. So instead of creating, we just need to check if dollar, okay, if dollar ID is true, then what am I doing, guys? I'm not sure if this really has something I'm doing. I'm not sure if this is going to work. So if it is true, we just say updating. Sometimes you actually get confused when you're just using like stuff like this. Okay, so just here, go back and see like this will be, it is very hard to see the title. But we can easily see it by making this loading. Okay, let me just in a second. I'm not sure if this is right, but we can confirm by setting the loading to true for a second. Just set loading to true so that we just see the heading or the title here. Okay, so you can see it is saying updating category, please wait. So yeah, so the button also is indicating the right thing. So just set this one back to false. Okay, so we are good. Okay, so we're having everything now dynamic. Okay, we're having everything right now dynamic at this point. Okay, so want to now make the put request because we have everything we need. We have the data with the ID and the all information. The most important thing is the that. So let's just go to this before we just go to the put request, is that we need to actually make the endpoints. Okay, so if you just go and look at the put request where we have this post request, we have the in this API request, we have this make post request, and then we have the put request. So you can see it also takes in set loading, endpoint, data, resource name, and the redirect, and maybe even the reset. But if you just look at it, it is just having the base URL and the endpoint, which we'll create using the ID, and then we make the put, and then we send the data. As simple as that. Okay, now let me just go back and to this. Right now we are working on the category. So if you just go to this category here in the API, guys, so minimize everything here, and let's go to the API, and you go to categories. Now this, the post, you see it is happening from here, and if you look at how we are doing it, we are first checking the existing. Okay, we are first checking the existing, and if it is existing, we return it has a problem, and then we have this new category, and just we create just like that. Okay, but now in the update, okay, we have the update. Let me just see. Go to this ID, and then in this route we'll have the another one more route, which is going to be like this one. Just I'm going to duplicate this one. Okay, just like that, and change this to put. Okay, it's going to be a put request. It also takes in a request and the params. So the first thing is to accept the data that we are receiving. So we are receiving, so receive the data. Okay, we are receiving the data, and the data we need specifically is const. Let me just see, update here. We are accepting, if you look at the information, just going to see first comment that if you are looking at the things we are changing here, we are changing the title. So probably when the title changes and the slug, so just going to receive title slug, and you know, we have to get also the ID, title slug, what else, description. Basically things we just have here in the post. Let me first get those ones actually. Okay, the things we received here is this. In the post request we are receiving these, so these are the ones I'm just going to receive. Okay, actually just you can just actually copy this, try catch this whole try. Okay, copy this, and let's go to the this, and inside here we're just going to do also a try catch, just like that. Okay, so we first receive the data. So here we receive the data we want to update. The one thing that we add here By the way, we also actually have the ID, and if we also wanted, you can see we are sending actually the ID here. We could also receive the ID from here for sure, just like this. Okay, we can just receive the ID, or you could just use this param. Already they have given us the ID. Okay, they can get this onto the endpoint. So whichever you want, you can get it from any place you want, and that means that we don't need to actually attach it to this data, I guess. Okay, but at least we have it. If you want it, we can still get it from here. So we have the title, Slag, image, description, and is active. And basically this is the information we just want to update. Now after getting this information, if we could just also first go and check if really this category exists. Okay, just for safety purposes, we could just go ahead and check if this category exists by using find unique, and this time we just use the ID, not the slag. Okay, I don't know where this was using the slag. Yeah, actually you could just even use a slag, but right now I'm just going to use ID. Okay, just use this ID, because the slag would have changed actually. So just you could find if this actually exists. If it exists, then you can go ahead. If it doesn't exist actually, you could do something like this. If it doesn't exist, data null, and you could just say category not found. Category not found. And then this one is 404, the error, and this is if we don't find anything. If this existing category does not exist, but at this point we are very sure, you go ahead and find this category. Now we just come here and we say update category, or updated category is going to be await db.category.update. Now you see update takes in two things. It doesn't normally take the data, but actually first takes in the where. So you see where ID, then put some comma, and then now you have the data. That's how it's supposed to be. You have the where ID is equal ID, because we already have the ID here. Okay, and by the way, we could just like get the one from the params. It doesn't matter, whichever you want works. So you have it just like that, where ID is equal that. So even here on updating, we update just like this, db.category.update, and we are updating this data. We take title, slag, image, description, and is active. Okay, and then here of course we return this, the updated, and then here failed to update category. Okay, so now we have finished the endpoint for updating the category. Now the next thing would be actually just going and see if we can just call this. Let me first close some of these things here. Okay, so we have this. We want to get the here. Now we do, there's no need of adding this ID here. Okay, there is no need of adding it, but just leave it, doesn't cost anything. So what you do here is actually just make put request. Could call this make put request. Okay, and then we pass in all the information they need. So I could just go to make put request. So they are not resetting. There is no need of resetting actually. So you have to put in all this information. The set loading endpoint, data, resource name. Okay. So resource name is used, like for instance, say that category updated successfully. The data is the normal data. Then the endpoint is the one we are putting here. So just come here, and inside this put request, you want to pass in all these things here. Now we could start like making one by one. Okay. For instance, set loading is set loading, which is okay. And then the second one is the endpoint, just like this. So we can create the endpoint. Okay. Could just come here and we create endpoint from here, because we actually have the ID. Okay, we already have the ID. We already have the ID, so the endpoint would be something like this. So the one to send to API. Let's look at how this is actually written. So it is fetch base URL the endpoint. So basically you have to add the API by yourself. So it will have to be API categories. Okay, API categories /$ ID. Okay, so we are pushing this to the API categories and /ID, just like this. That is the endpoint. The data actually remains data, as you can see even here. Then the resource name is actually category, just like that. And then we could pass in reset, but we're just passing in here redirect. Now for this, redirect is going to, after updating, I think the redirect is the same. If you check the direct function, is pushing to dashboard categories, which is okay. So the redirect is the same. Yeah, and basically that's it. Okay, basically that's it. Okay, and then this one of setting this image URL back to empty, we do not want that. So this one could just like make it under post, like inside this post request. When it is done, maybe down here, but down here you just want it to be clean slate. Okay, so I think right now we should be good. Okay, we just should be able to check and see if we have errors. Okay, we have to go and check if we have errors. You never know. So I'm not going to change anything. I'm just going to simply add one thing, updated. Okay, just going to add poultry updated. Okay, updated, just like this. And this means a lot, by the way. You can imagine it has to update also inside the markets and so on and so forth. Okay, so just say here, come and update this. Click update. You just see if you have any errors. Category updated successfully. Redirecting. Okay, so it has been redirected to this side. Let me close here. That was fast. Okay, let me just first do this cross. I just want to cross this, and I see it very well. So where is poetry updated? Yep, so you have the poetry updated. Okay, we have poetry updated, which is really nice. So if you just go ahead and edit category, you see that, did it update? What? I don't think it updated. Yeah, it actually updated. You can see it is poetry updated. Okay, so this is great. And if I check onto the UI, let's check where we have just poetry. I'm just going to refresh. Okay, just see. Yeah, so you can see poetry updated. Okay, so this is cool. So now we are able to update a category successfully. This is really nice, guys. Okay, this is really nice. We have done a lot of work. Okay, so I suppose transform this whole science that we have done here, and we are transform it to all of them. Okay, we are supposed to do this onto all of them. Okay, I just want you to take to be patient and try to apply this to all other modules we are having. So just going to do one more module together, and then you will be able to apply this onto all others. Okay, we're just going to do this one more time together, and then you will be able to apply it onto other modules. Okay, so that you can do this offline. The first thing, or the most advantage thing, we're just going to do coupons right now. Okay, I'm just going to come and close this. Okay, now just go to this, and I'm just going to do, you can just do banners or coupons, whichever you want. What should we do? We just like deal with banners, because coupons are easy. We just do with banners. I would want you to see how you're going to hustle with products, but I just do with banners is a simple one. So the first thing is, already you have the edit button on all of them. Okay, so this is the nice thing. You have the edit button. The only thing you don't have is you have to update one thing in the column. You have to update the endpoint, edit endpoint. That's the only thing you need to do. Okay, so you can just go to the dashboard, to the catalog. We have done categories, and now if you go to the columns, yeah, columns here, what you could do is you could also copy this, and we update it for everything. Copy that, and let's update. Start with the banners on top here. Let's go to columns, and let's go to this. We can just change the basic this. These ones are just like easy, I guess. It has 2 endpoints, and everything just needs 2 endpoints. Just put this. First of all, this is banner. Okay, this is going to be title is banner. Okay, then this is going to be banners. Okay, banners. One text to this, even this category, change it to banner. Only that, this will update the link for the endpoint and the delete. Everything is fine. Just doing this. Continue do this to the categories. We have done for categories. Continue to the coupons. Go to the columns, and let's update this. So that's the first thing you have to do. Just update this column. In the columns, update the actions, and then here I'm just going to change this to, we are in coupon, So this is coupon. Okay, even const coupon, so this one is coupon. Okay, and then here just come here and say coupons, those two. But you can press Ctrl D to have my cursor like that. So just have coupons. Okay, and then here is also just coupon. Just have this as coupon, just like that, coupon.id. So this one will update all the links for the endpoints. Okay, which is great. Continue to this, to the poultry products, products, and let's do the same exact thing. Paste here this, and then just change here to product. Okay, then this title is product, then these ones are products, and then these ones is category, which is product. So just Ctrl D and change this to product. As simple as that. So you have this product. Okay, what else? We have this community, which is the training. Okay, just change this also, this. Okay, just change that. Okay, this is training. This title is training. This is trainings, and then this is training. Okay, as simple as that. Training.id. Let's go to farmers and then markets. So to these farmers, and this is how, I've copied again. I just need to go here to this, and let's copy this one. Ctrl C, go to the farmers, columns, paste. This is going to be farmer. This one is going to be farmer, and then this one is going to be farmers. Okay, and then it is update. This one is going to be farmer, just like that. So finally, let's make for market. Go to columns. Okay, and you see I've done this with you. You'd have done it alone, but you just do that. So this one is for the market. So this is market. Then this is markets. Just select this, Ctrl D. You can just have this as markets, and then this is market. Okay, so we are done. So I mean, it's all models right now. If you go to any model, it should have correct endpoint. If you click it, it should be able to take you to the update page. Okay, for any of these ones, you can see the banners. They have banners update, and then they have that. So if you just click there, I don't know if that link already exists on the banners, but you see it is taking like we have banners update. So you can just go banners update, and then you have this page which says update category. Is supposed to have update banner. Okay, just change this to banner, and even this update banner, just like that. Okay, so the first step we have done is updating the step number one. Just go to, as we are doing banners, the step number one is make sure you update the link onto this so that it is pointing to the right endpoint. The edit endpoint is pointing in the right place for all of them, I guess. Right now, even the products, even if you go to the products, we have updated all the links. So just go to products. Okay, let's go to products, and if you just check here, is that it is pointing also in the right place. Products update, if you click on it, it should just go to products update, and then the unique ID of that product. So pointing here is very important. Okay, I don't know what we have for the product. Do we have that page? If your products update page, yeah, so you have update product and that, so you should have that. I don't know why is it not having anything here. Products update, is it not having just like products update ID then page? I don't know why it is not showing up, but we just work when we reach on that. But just go back to the banners. So that's the first step, pointing to the right place. So make sure this the edit is pointing in the right place. The second one is updating the update page. So if you just go to update banner right now, I don't know why is this not pointing, like bring anything here. Just confirm, export default function. I don't know. He is supposed to accept the params. Just like this, we have the ID. Why is this H2 not working? Okay, we are supposed to update this. This is what update product. I just need banner. Just go to banners. Just first work on the banners. We have update, then we have the page. So inside here we can also get the params, and then in this you get the ID. Okay, and then this one is just going to use it to fetch the data. Now we need to look at the new. Okay, so if it has something like this, okay, let's just go and check onto this page, the new. I think my PC is freezing right now. They just wait and see. I think I have a lot of open tabs. I'll just close some of these tabs right here. We just come in and I just close this. Keep waiting. You could just close some of these tabs, by the way, just close all and just open the ones you want. So if you have this, so you can see the first thing is after you have connected the update page, now you are at this. It is pointing in the right place, the edit link. Now the next thing is to make sure you are now work onto the new page, because you're going to use the same form. You have to work onto this. Okay, so the first step is to create the new banner form. Remember, this one was a new banner, I guess. Yes. So just create a new banner form. Control A, Control C. Let's go to components. Okay. Go to components and then into back office and then forms. Let's create another one, a new file called new banner form. Okay. You could even just actually call it banner form, because like we are not just using it to create just like a new banner or something like that, because this one is just going to be used for update and everything. You could just call it just banner form, just like that, because it can just be a new or update form. So just call it banner form dot jsx, and then just paste everything here. Okay, and then they just update this to banner form. Just remove this and call it banner form. Okay, now you remove everything. Just simply remove every in the form, leave everything actually, just like this. The only thing you just need to remove is this one. So in the return, we should only remain with the form, just here like this. Okay, we are remaining with the form just like that. The return should only return the form, and then the rest of everything will just remain. That's the only thing we are removing. When you go back to the page where we have this new banner, leave it as a new banner and then remove everything now, including use client. Okay, so the only thing that we just need to remain with, remove all these things of the form, all these functions, remove everything, even this function, remove. Just remain with the return, and in the return we are only just remaining with this. Where there is the form, just simply put banner form, banner form. Okay, just put banner form. Okay, just like that, as simple as that. So you have this kind of stuff, and then this will say update banner, say update banner. Okay, so in this update banner, we're just going to come here. First of all, get the header. Okay, and then this update, we are going to pass in the update data, of course. Update data is equal to this banners, so const banners, const banner is equal to await get data, and then in this we are passing in. So first make sure, we are in the new banner. So in the new banner we don't do anything, guys. We simply play it cool, just like this, and this one remains a new banner, just like this. Just copy the same thing, copy the same thing, and go to this. Actually shouldn't change anything. If you just go back and click on the banners, okay, just click on the banners and just click on the new banner. We shouldn't have any problems. The banner form should remain exactly the same thing. Yep, we have the new banner, banner title, banner link, and everything. Now I'm just going to go to copy this same content, the return of this one, go to banners update page, and then just update this return. So the return, we're just going to have this header, which we just say update banner. Okay, then this banner form on top here. If now you check right now, also get the banner form. If you check the update page, store banners, and then just go to any of these ones, edit. We should just have the this. Okay, so you can see it is returning this update banner and then the same form. So instead we want to populate this form with data. This form we want to populate this data. So you first get the data on top here. using that ID. So you say const banner is equal to await get data, just like this, and then just pass in here this passing that we want to get banners, then $ID, just like this. Okay, just make this one async. Okay, so just we go ahead and get the this data as the banner, and then we pass here the banner data, not banner data but update data. Update data is equal to this, is equal to the banner. You can just of course go ahead and first console the banner. Okay, you can first go ahead and console the banner to confirm that you actually have the banner. Console.log banner, just like that, and then move this up so that we can see it. And when did I have the debug window here? Okay, I'm supposed to have terminal. So move down here. I just need here to refresh this, and then it will just console for me the banner. Okay, so you can see the banner is here. I guess this is the banner. Okay, so this is the banner. You can see the title, the link, image, everything. So we have the banner. Now we want to pass this data to the form, and we are passing it here as update data. So just go to the banner form. We know that this update data is an object, so we pass in as an empty object, so that if we don't pass it, it actually makes it this. The two things we want: the initial image. I can copy this from the categories. I will just come here and I copy some of these things from here in the categories. Categories are not update but actually form, right? You could just go here in this new category form, and you could just copy some things like these two. They remain the same. In the banner form, just down here, so you just get the initial image URL. Okay, make sure that even on the banner you can just go ahead and get the banners, and you look at the data they have. Okay, just go and get the banners, just like that. So you can see banners have also image URL. Okay, so we can just get image URL, and then this one we can just initialize it here. Okay, then we have also the ID, and then the most important thing is that we pass it in here. We spread it just like that. Update data. Okay, just spread it here so that if there is any values, they are there. And now another thing is onto this, we make the if statement the same thing here. If ID, okay, if ID is there, then we just come here, make post request. So here make put request, make put request errors. Okay, errors, go ahead and make post request. So here make post request, and then paste this old code here on the post request, just like that. And you can also say copy in the new category, and you just simply copy here the button, So this submit button here, you can copy these two. Okay, so in the banner form down here on the submit button, I'm just going to update it also. Button title becomes update. Oh, so this is banner, and then here banner, and then even updating or creating, then banner. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so if you just go back now to this, if you go here, you can see all the data has been already accumulated, including even here update banner. Okay, so that is the most important thing, to be able to route this and use exactly the same form for both. I think it is a very nice technique that you have learned. Then now what we only need is to make sure when we click on update, we actually run this make put request, or make this this put request here. Okay, so since we have the ID, okay, so when you come here and making put request, just simply you can also copy here what the put request takes in. Okay, you can see here the put request just takes in these things here. Make put request, copy that, and come to the banner form here. First of all, import the put request. Set loading remains the same. API, now we are onto the banners, so it is API banners, then ID, then data, then here banner. As simple as that. Now since we are not necessarily need to actually add the ID. The ID will be picked from the URL, so we don't need even to add the ID in the data. Now what we only need to do is simply get go back to the categories API. So right now, after you have finished the form here, putting these things here, API, the data, the banner, and the redirect. Redirect, you have already created it earlier. It is here. They are redirecting to the same place. We go back to the API. Okay, go back to the API, onto the categories. This one, just copy this last one, the one for the put, this one, and then we just change that, copy it, and let's go to the banners. We are modifying banners here. Make sure you're just in the route, the ID here. So just ID, and then go into this route. Okay, so into this route, you're having everything to do is banners. Minimize the delete, and let's go ahead and now have this here. And here I'm just going to have if you want to get this right, just go back to this, and let's get under the post. It is good you get this information, what you actually need to update. So you could first get this information here. Okay, you just need to get this information, what you're just going to be updating. So go back to this. So what we receive from here is this title, link, image, and is active. This data you are receiving. Now the existing banner, so you can just first go and get the existing banner, and then this is going to be banner. So when you get the existing banner and check it, if it doesn't exist, we want also actually to say not found. and a 404. If everything is okay, then we have to update the banner. So updated banner is await banner dot update where ID, and then also this data. Now the data, just go back here and copy this same data here, just like that. Let's copy this data. Okay, just like this. Okay, so the data, we have the where ID, and then where the data is this one. So we update the data, then here we have to return the updated banner. Okay, return the updated banner, fail to update banner. Okay, so this one we can just like change the image. If we want to know that this banner has changed, we can change its image. Right now it has these things. I'm just going to change maybe the title. Let me just go back to Jumia for a minute. You can just go to Jumia here, and then just get one of these new banners. So we have like this Christmas sale. Okay, Christmas sale. Just need one. We can just use the one that is maybe unique. We can use to identify maybe this new year. Okay, let me just save this. Save. Okay, I just want to, I don't know if is it saving or something. Did I just like, is it saving or what? I just like, wait a second here. Okay, so just, this is the new sale, so I'm just going to name it as new sale, new year, I think, new year, something like that. Okay, so I have the new banner I want to update, so let's just go and see. Okay, let's just go and see here onto this. We can just go ahead and update. So first of all, I will change this one to the new year sale, maybe banner, whatever. And the link, let's leave the link, or you could just like change the link to maybe to Jumia whatsoever. Okay, just change the link to that, and then let's change the image. Now the good thing is that if this we click on change, it gives us to upload. Let's upload this new year thing. Upload. By the way, now the upload thing, yeah, I think it will just work. Okay, I think it will just work. Let's just see if it has, yep, so it is there. And then just click on update. Okay, banner updated successfully. We are waiting to redirect. Okay, so we redirect here. We have the new year sale banner, and then we have even the link updated. This is so cool, guys. So if we just go back to this here, we can see we still have this old one. I think this is the one we changed. Let's refresh. Okay, So I'm just refreshing here. Okay, so okay, great, and you can see it is here. Okay, it is there, and that's really cool. So we have this whole updating working so cool. Okay, the delete functionality is working. So what I want is to apply this concept. Take your time. We have applied only these store banners and the categories, so we need products, coupons, markets, farmers, and so on and so forth. To all those models we are working on, including the trainings, we just need to apply those things we have done. Okay, so just to go offline and do the hard work. Okay, I've done for you the two examples very nicely. If you have not just like got them very well, you can just go back, uh, play again and watch back and see what you have done step by step, and then make sure you work on the products, work on the coupons, and even me behind the scenes, I'm just going to go and work on them. If I find any problem, I always just come and we solve that problem together. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. If you have not subscribed at this point, please subscribe. Okay, please hit the subscribe button, click on the notification bell so that if a new video comes, actually I always make videos every day. This is crazy, by the way. Like, we are making the videos every day. It is so crazy until this series gets done. Then I will start making maybe 2 videos or 3 videos per week. But before it is done, you're just going to be making 1 video per day. Okay, so more content is coming up. Next, we are having to finish this series. Then we have TypeScript coming up next. Then after the new year, in the new year we have more things coming. The course will be working on the course. Next year we'll be working on making the course, and in the course, it is massive. Is having TypeScript, is having the medical app, is having all those kind of apps. You can just go and check onto this. The course waiting list is in the link description. Join the waiting list. I will notify you when the course comes. Okay, otherwise, thank you for watching. Always smash the like button so that this video can get more people. We still most people are asking me how many episodes are remaining with. I'm not so sure how many episodes right now. I can't be so specific about how many exact episodes we are remaining with, but it is just all about the functionalities. As you can see, the app is getting into shape. Okay, the app is getting into shape. We have the CRUD done. Okay, we have all these nice things done, whereby we can toggle off, add some things. So we have the nice functionalities done. The most important is remaining is going to be the front end. The front end, you have to work on the remaining pages, and one more thing is adding authentication. After adding authentication, we'll be remaining with the front end pages, and after the front end pages, the app will be done, and we'll be adding more few episodes. Okay, and if you want to grab the code, just find the link in the description. I always update it. Every after video I update the code. Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next episode.